Hey, what's up, fellas? I just got done with a workout here at the gym, eating a Cliff Bar. Personally, I prefer to eat an organic bar. Of course, Whole Foods stopped selling them, and now the only place you can buy them is on Amazon.com for about $3 a bar. Kind of ridiculous. Anyway, the looks count. Let's get into this. This is one of those questions that a lot of new guys into this game who want to get better with girls ask. And it's a very deep question. The answer is yes, looks do count. In fact, to make this a little bigger, everything counts. Everything that you do counts. Yes, the size of your dick counts. How you look counts. What you drive counts. How much money you have in the bank counts. Everything that you have to offer as a man, a girl is judging. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to be the best looking. It doesn't mean that you have to be the richest guy. Women do fuck guys that are short, bald, fat, etc., etc., etc.
Are you recording?
However, I am. Say what's up.
Okay, I will. Hold on.
Damn, dude, don't get killed for the video. Welcome to the Ryan J Show. I'm eating a Cliff Bar, so I'll give you a fist bump. Wow, you're really tall.
Thank you.
How you doing? Look, we're blocking the car, but fuck them, you know, right?
Oh wait, then let's go
around.
this way. Where are you? I can't.
Take my arm?
Okay.
Cool. So we're talking about, do looks count with women?
Well, you see, I'm styrofoam.
You're styrofoam.
So.
You're a cute bit of styrofoam there.
Yeah. So
Need a
like,
tan.
I feel it's all about the personality.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, who's gonna make you laugh?
Hey, that's a good
Not
one.
looks.
Right.
Is there a curb coming up?
Funny that I can't actually tell what you look like, but you seem to have a good vibe,
Oh,
a good
God.
aura. Watch the curb right there.
I asked you.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Wow. So, what do you guys think of that?
At the end of the day, who's gonna make you laugh?
Hmm.
And happiness is very important.
That sounds like a good quotable.
It is. Quote me at Haley D.
Right on, Haley D. Hey,
Right
high five.
on.
There it is. I'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Peace it. Oh. Oh, damn, dude. This looks like a good spot to chit chat. Anyway, back to where we were. Check this out. Everything that you have to offer as a man counts. A woman's going to be judging in all different forms of criteria. However, you don't have to be the best of the best. Napoleon Bonaparte was like 5 feet tall, the short dead dude from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yet he was strong enough in his dominant personality to control men, control armies, and ultimately control countries, control territories. So, for example, when we talk about do looks count, here's the reason this question is so weird and so hard for most guys to understand. See, guys, we're visual creatures. So when we talk about looks, for us it's the actual physical aesthetics. For women, it's what it represents. See, a lot of guys, they ask me like, what's the magic pickup line? And I'll say, there is no pickup line. It's not about what you say, it's where you're saying it from. Because a woman doesn't care about the words. What a woman is judging in her mind is, what does it mean? Where is it coming from? And that's a whole other topic that I talk about on some other vlogs. But try to think of it like this. Men, we judge women by what they look like. Let's take a pair of tits, for example. Now, a man is judging a pair of tits by what they look like, the size, what color they are. If they're tanned, are they not tanned? Are they too big? Are they too small? Are they what some guys call temple titties? Are they look like a pyramid shape, or do they look like a cup? Are they round like a ball, or do they have like a slope to them? The slope ones are better to put cocaine on and sniff it off. The big round ones, it kind of, tend to fall off. So guys are looking for what it looks like. They're looking for the aesthetics. Versus, let's say, what do those tits mean? See, guys, we don't look at tits for what they mean. And if I ask you, what does a pair of tits mean? What does it represent? Well, biologically, evolutionarily designed, it means milk for babies. And psychologically, men tend to think bigger tits will have more milk to feed the babies, give them more nutrients, more nutrition, which is not actually true. That's what a pair of tits represents. But men don't look at what a pair of tits represents. We're judging a woman by what they look like aesthetically. Are they too big? Are they too small? Now, it's also individualized. Each guy will have his ideal of what a perfect pair of tits looked like. For example, if I found the perfect pair of tits and I were to show them to you, you might say, nah, those are too small, or nah, those are too big, or they're all right. See, everybody is going to have a different ideal of their specific perfect pair of tits, or their specific perfect ass for a woman, or their specific perfect pair of legs, or perfect face. There is a generalized ideal for the masses of what beauty, quote unquote beauty, is, but it's different for everybody. Everybody has a different sexual attraction to different things, and that's okay. I'm not here to try to tell people what they should and should be attracted to. Attraction is not a choice. People are just attracted to what they want. And like, for example, with tits, it usually comes from a biological engram from when you were born and you were feeding. If your mother had breastfed you and gave you enough nutrients and you grew up healthy, then your ideal tits may be similar to that of your mother's, or they may be completely different. I don't know. But they say usually, like, psychologically wise, it comes from psychological engrams or something like that. But just so we're clear, like, what a pair of tits looks like versus what they represent is kind of the same way that a woman is judging what a man looks like. Now, most guys, they say, oh, I want to get the perfect body, six-pack abs, big bulging biceps, so that girls will like me. And that's not something that you necessarily need. If you go to the gym, you need to go there for the right reasons. You have to understand that you are enough. You are already enough. And it doesn't matter whether you're short, bald, fat. If you display the characteristics of what women want, then you can bypass what you look like. If you go to work out, you need to do it for you. You need to get a good body because you want a good body and you want to feel healthy. You want to wake up and you want to be full of energy. You want to feel a state of dynamic, vibrant health. See, when a woman is judging what you look like, for example, she looks at your abs. We know women like abs. We know women like big muscular guys. They like guys that are fucking jacked up. But it's not what the muscle looks like. And that's where guys, they get off base. They sit there and they keep pumping out more sets trying to sculpt the perfect body. And that's not necessarily what a woman is judging you by. What she's judging is, what does the muscle represent? She's looking at it, what does the six-pack represent? What does it represent? strength, protection. If you're a guy who's out of shape, a woman can generally assume that you couldn't keep a job. You wouldn't be able to put food on the table and protect and provide for yourself, for her, and your future potential offspring. However, a big muscle-bound dude with big muscle, with big arms, with a big chest, pecs, you know, six-pack abs, what it represents is survival. It's going to aid her in her survival. It represents utility, usefulness. For example, if some guys came over to try to start some shit and she's got a big, jacked up boyfriend, well, he could probably beat everybody up so she can feel protected. So she's not looking at the aesthetics of the muscle like we would be looking at the aesthetics of a girl's tits or her facial symmetry. See, us guys, we're so precise. We look at a girl and we go, oh, she has some peach fuzz. I wouldn't date her because that's nasty. And girls go, it's just peach fuzz, it's natural. Yeah, but it ruins your whole face. Or we say, guys are so aesthetic looking that we could say, oh, well, one of her eyes is kind of crooked. Now, she can't do anything about that. And of course, the woman's going to feel kind of bad because she is helpless. She can't, like, magically make her face appear the perfect facial symmetry. But that's what guys are looking at. We're looking at the aesthetics. We're looking at, oh, look at the exact hips to waist ratio. Yeah, those are childbearing hips. Or, no, that girl's out of shape. She's fat. Couldn't date her. We're like that. A woman is more she's not looking at the actual size and definition of the muscle. She's more looking at what it represents. Strength. Oh, that guy has great six-pack abs. What does that say about the guy? It says, wow, he can commit to something. He can commit to something like health and fitness. And if he can commit to something so hard like getting six-pack abs, then he can probably commit to other things, such as committing to a relationship with her. It says that he can fuck, most likely. He's got a killer body and great muscles. He can probably pump that pussy till dawn. He can probably give her the sex that she's looking for. If he's very in shape, then, you know, worst things worse, he ends up working at some desk job. He'll probably do all right. If he's, you know, a big muscular guy, he's in shape. Anyway, it just kind of shows that he's a breadwinner. Which is why you can get away. You don't have to be the best looking guy if you can provide the traits that those muscles represent. For example, like I said, Napoleon Bonaparte, short dude. He's like 5 foot tall, but because he was so dominant and so alpha with his personality, he was able to stand up to guys that were 6-7 feet tall and fucking tell those motherfuckers what to do. So, for example, you don't have to be the biggest fucking guy with the biggest muscles if your personality can outshine and dominate other men. That's why you got to work on your game. You have to work on your personality, like the styrofoam head chick was talking about. That's what's going to get you the girl in the end. And that's what's going to keep the girl. The muscles can fade. You know, you could have a six-pack abs today, but, you know, 5 years from now, you could be fat. It happens. I had six-pack abs in 2012, and for the last 5 years, I've been sitting at my desk writing all these books. I put on 60 pounds, and now I gotta get it back off. But what has never changed? My personality. Whether, you know, back when I used to be fat, I pulled hot bitches. And that's proven. I got on the cover of a magazine because I was pulling catwalk models with no car, no job, not a dime in my pocket, and I was 60 pounds overweight. Then I got in the gym for 2 years, and I got six-pack abs, and I got ripped, and guess what? I'm still pulling bitches. I just started pulling different kinds of girls. Usually girls that were like a little more vain and more worried about their body. With muscles, you're not going to necessarily get more girls, you'll just get different kinds of girls, different personality types. And now here I am fat again, but my personality and my game is still tight. So whether I have six-pack abs or whether I'm fucking fat, I'm still the boss, nigga. Like, I still call shots and I still pull bitches. The weight and what you look like, it matters, but not that much. Again, what's more important is what it represents. And it's the same thing when you talk to girls. Like I said earlier, the guys say, what's your pickup line? What's your pickup line? How do you get girls? Well, it's not a pickup line. You know, it doesn't matter what I say. I can walk up to a girl and go booga booga. It's the way I say booga booga. It's the way I come off. It's you know, I could say a smooth line like I don't know, quick question, I just got to ask you. I could have something profound to say, but if I said it with my hands in my pockets and I was hunched over and I was like mumbling my words and slurring and I didn't sound confident, I could say the smoothest line, but she won't hear it anyway. But if I walk up like the man, like I know I'm the shit, and I'm just like booga booga, she might just respond back and go booga booga, and I'll be like high five, what's up, how's your night going? And you'll be like, booga booga, how does that work? Well, it's how I said it. It's not the actual words, it's where it's coming from. It's not what you look like, it's what you represent. When you start like understanding the psychology of how all these techniques work, that's when it starts to click. That's when you're like, oh, that's what he's doing. And that's why she's responding. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, just food for thought. If you're gonna work out, do it for you. Know that you are enough. It doesn't matter if you're 5 foot tall, 6 foot tall, 6.5 foot tall. Like, it's about your game that you're spitting, primarily. Some girls, you could ask them, you know, what do you like in guys? They'll say, oh, I like tall guys. But then, you know, for example, I was dating a girl who was taller than me. She was 6 foot. She was 6 foot even. And then when she put on, I'm 5'11" and 3/4. I'm not even 6 foot. And I'm still pulling bitches. So that's proof enough for you right there. And I was dating a girl who was taller than me. She was 6 foot. And when she put on heels, she was like 6'3". She was taller than me. So girls, yeah, they like tall guys consciously. What they're unconsciously looking for is a guy who can make them feel protected and safe. So you could be a short guy, but if you can make the girl feel protected, that's you're in. And that's personality. That comes with learning game. You know, you ask a girl, what do you like in guys? Oh, I like tall guys. Why do you like tall guys? Because they make me feel safe. Ah. So you don't really like tall guys. What you like is to feel safe. So if you can provide a feeling of safety when you're with her, you're in like Flynn. Anyway, work out for you, not for her. Have fun. And I'm up here at the Vaughn's. I gotta grab some groceries, pick up some protein powder, and then dinner break, then cardio, and back to the YouTube. See you guys on the next one. Peace.